What a beautiful November morning it is, and it's looking a little different around here. You can see the grass started overgrowing back into the area we cut over the last month or so. Some areas just haven't filled in yet. I'm gonna kind of let this go. It's like having a front yard finally, and you can see we put a nice fire pit in. We got some chairs around, and right now we just got some scraps in there, but we got plenty of firewood over here just to hang out when it's a little cooler at night. What we've been doing, I'm gonna go ahead and take a jog down to nothing to see here. We're gonna take a jog down to our greenhouse, the garden. We should have some goods down there that we could potentially start eating and reduce our cost for goods and foods and groceries. Looks like we got a decent amount of strawberries, some corn, and some potatoes. Very nice. I think we'll get some lettuce next month, maybe some tomatoes, some soybeans soon. Yeah, those things are growing nice, progressing really well. I think what we'll do is we'll get the tractor real quick, put the front loader back on it, and we'll move those pallets into safekeeping, because those ones were 100% going to be eating ourselves and not selling to make any type of profit. I'm hoping that we can produce enough goods to where we have leftovers to then be able to sell long term. But to start with, they're definitely going to be ours. And I think as we progress, you know, the goal is to not work anymore. Or, I mean, this is a lot of work. Not have a day job, but to be able to quit the day job so I can just focus on growing this farm and making it more profitable. This is step one right here. We'll reduce the grocery bill that's $1,000 a month right now, and this is a good amount to start with. You know, I imagine corn and potatoes, we take that out of our budget, we might be down to maybe $900 still, and the forks are stuck in the ground. How is that even physically possible? I've been having nothing but problems with this tractor lately the last few days. I think it's super early to be doing this, but I might look for an upgrade. Might try to resell this and get something a little more powerful. I think that might be required. But let's go ahead and get the corn and the potatoes moved. And we probably could do both of these at once. I don't see why we couldn't. Just raise it like that and just slowly creep our way up here. A little bit lower there. Should be safe. Hopefully those potatoes hold on. Yeah, plenty of corn, plenty of potatoes. That'll be a nice part of our diet moving forward, I guess, until we get some more things. And having some type of meat would be nice. But to figure that out too. Maybe chickens to start with. We could get some eggs, and then as they age, we could also, you know, sad as it is that they would be our own pets, we could butcher them for fresh poultry. We do have this nice little shed over here for sheep. It's, you know, like I mentioned, it's designed for sheep. We might be able to convert it for cattle, but I mean, this operation right now, it'd be nice to just be able to feed some sheep off of the land over there. So that's a possibility too. And we haven't sold all that grass yet. $56,000. We don't have a lot of money coming in. I think if we slow roll this, as we should, to be financially smart, we're kind of extended as far as loans go. I think we want to cut this whole thing and sell all the grass this year. Get an idea of how much grass we're producing during each cut and really make some decisions based off of that. But I am going to drive this into town, see if I can work my way into a deal to a nice little upgrade that doesn't break the bank too much, keeping in mind that we need some way to treat this field, whether that's leasing, paying someone to do it for us, or us doing it ourselves. So I would like to get some fertilizer put down between now and in spring before it starts growing again, and potentially eventually figuring out a way to make this multiple fields. So I'd like to get something like wheat going, get a nice grain, maybe make some flour. It's another opportunity for some food at home, and then maybe some chickens, because I know they like wheat as well. Long-term goals, not short-term, long-term. Well, we're down about $16,000 after buying this, but we got this case 2390 with a front attachment, the front loader. And I think this will be a nice upgrade for the farm. Let's go ahead. I put the pallets are right here. Let's get those attached. We can get home. Our new baby here. Nice older tractor, nice white case tractor. I haven't used one of these before. I haven't seen one of these before in my life. But again, got a nice traffic jam this morning. We're gonna head back into the house and I'm gonna hook up to the mower and we're gonna finally get that whole grass field cut. Thought I'd try backing up this time instead of pulling forward and doing that circle, but that hill causes it to be pretty rough to back up the hill. I'm kind of thinking through this field size is decent. If we did half of this like a wheat field and half of it the grass field, we could start producing a decent amount of feed for animals. And I've been listening to some farming podcasts, and they're talking about silage, hay, and a combination of that with some straw, making this product that they call TMR that they feed to. It's like a total mixed ration, I guess is what it's called. It's a mixture of things that they give cattle. And being an operation that potentially could supply feed to farmers that aren't necessarily producing it themselves in the area, it's kind of intriguing to me long term. It's, we're maxed out with our loans. Unless we get a decent amount of funds or can prove that we can make a decent amount of money off of the farm to maybe start a business and have a business loan separate from the mortgage, it's risky. It's just thinking of things that I want to do long term when we are doing this full time. And boy, it's going to take a minute to cut this field. Well, you can see we didn't cut the entire field because, man, it was going to take forever. And I did want to get some income coming in this weekend while I'm off work. And also wanted to start building kind of a field layout here that can get us prepped for when we want to start planting crops. And I'm thinking I want to look into doing some type of crop in the spring that I could turn around by the time fall comes. So like a quick crop, and what I was reading, oats might be our best option for that. So I think we're gonna work on slowly getting the equipment for that. And boy, this thing is just getting stuck in gears. Gotta help it every once in a while. Automatic seems to be going on it, but I also noticed if I get onto the road here, it just seems to drive a lot better. So we'll put the mower away. Yeah, you can see a nice little field layout, and I think that's where I want to do a separate field right there. I don't want to put it right in front of the house because, like we mentioned a couple months ago, I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with the house layout, and that is a temporary living situation. So we don't want to encroach on any of our land with fields, but I definitely want to put one there. We did the whole headland a couple times, I think 3 times around before I just made that decision. So we'll get that all done, but we got all winter to cut the rest of that grass, and I do want to get it cut and done before snow gets here, but we'll figure it out. We're learning as we go, and I don't want to overwhelm myself because I think I'm gonna struggle to be able to get the rest of this process done today. And I'm bringing the tedder out, and I noticed it looks like we just missed my wife. She was down here picking some veggies, and I'll have to get these moved for us. We got some tomatoes and more strawberries. The strawberries are going crazy. We're not going to go through that many strawberries before they go bad, so we might want to look into selling those. And I'm not a big fan of tomatoes. She is, I'm not. But if they produce that fast, we might have to figure out a way to sell those as well. And that'll be one of the next things that I try to discover is what exactly or how we're going to make money off of those. Are we just going to sell them out of the house? Are we going to potentially, why is that not working? So we're going to break character for a second, and we're going to all pretend that this is the tractor we went and bought earlier, and this is the implement that we bought a while back. I could get the other tedder back, but it doesn't make sense to me. I think we'll just use this one. Was having trouble, those, mods, and all mods aren't created equal, and that one was having issues with tedders, so we weren't going to be able to use it, so I replaced it with this one. Is one I was also looking at. Has about the same horsepower, so I'm not going to take a financial hit here. It just is what it is. Sorry for breaking the immersion, but I wanted to explain what you're seeing. So working our way up the hill here, I want to see how well the tedder is going to work. Seems to be doing pretty good. We can almost get 3 rows. Man, it would be nice if we could. It looks like we're getting about 2.5 there. But we'll get this all tedded up, and then I need to windrow it. We'll rake it into rows and start picking it up with the forage wagon. It's going to be a lot of trips, but I'm hoping it's pretty good cash too. Well, that was quite the job. Felt like that took much longer than any other tedding session that we've done. Should be well worth it though. That means it's going to be a lot more profitable than any other session we've done too. I shouldn't say profitable, I should say income generating. We might want to look at the market for a bigger rower eventually, because this thing's kind of puny. Now that we're doing bigger chunks, it feels like we are somewhat outgrowing it, but we'll make do today. I do think if we want to start making this into a business and not just for our own, a little bit bigger equipment is going to be required. So let's go ahead and start at the bottom and work our way around. Let's lower that. Get far enough over. Missing a little bit there, but I think it'll be okay. And we'll get this all rowed up and then probably take a little lunch break before I start collecting it to sell it. And I will check around to make sure this is the best location right down the road, price-wise. I know there's other places that we can sell it in town that might be offering more money in November than they were in September and October. I think that's where we're going to take a break with the rowing and just get some of this sold. I think it would be, just my own sanity. I definitely think we'll be looking into a bigger rake, but I want to make some money because you can't just spend money all the time. And I think what we're going to do is there's a local Facebook group for people that are like selling produce and, oh man, why is this being a pain? There's a local Facebook marketplace type thing for advertising things that you're selling, and it's a really nice little setup. So we're gonna get our account all added to that group, and then we will set up a stand here. I think we'll just set it up at the house to start with and advertise on there that we're selling food or veggies, and you know what I mean. Let's turn around here. Go up first and then around so we can pick up these that we missed. But yeah, I think that'll be a good way to start making money. We'll see what kind of income we're getting, because like I said, it might just be the strawberries and a little bit of the tomatoes at first. If we get more corn in December. We could sell that because we have more than enough for us for probably a year right now. We'll have to do some canning so we can make these things last. So those are the plans, but I figured we'd make a little bit of cash right now because that was taking way longer than I thought. Haven't even gotten my lunch break yet. Just a little over halfway around the headland, and we are full. I'm gonna go ahead and pull over, check out that app the other farmers were telling me about. And it's pretty much the same price everywhere right now. So we will head over to that same spot, sell 20,000 liters here, come back for more. I think we're gonna make, gosh, maybe close to 15,000 today. Need to start getting onto the market and checking out plows and seeders. See what kind of budget we're gonna need for that. I'm hoping all this hay can pay for it and we can keep this balance at around 40,000. Getting that farmer's market going will help financially as well. Haven't really talked to the wife yet, but I think we're pretty close to me quitting. Talking quiet in case she's around here. I want to quit my job. So I'm hoping we make a decent amount of money to start having that conversation this month. Maybe like work through Christmas and then just not go back after Christmas break. At least that's what I'm thinking. Tentative plans. We need to clean up these pieces of wood out here. These branches are just all over this road, but that's a problem for another day. So let's go ahead and get this sold, get more, and make a lot of trips back and forth, back and forth. It sure would be nice to be able to just bale this up, put it on a trailer, bring it all at once. Maybe someday. Maybe someday we can afford that type of equipment, but not today. Let's back on up. We lost it big time. We lost it big time. I notice my problem backing up is I go too fast. And then it makes overcorrections a problem. All right, should be, about 3,500, I'm guessing is what we get here. 3,587. So 4 more trips would be well more than that 15,000. And I think we'll definitely have at least 3 more trips or 4 more trips today. Okay, time to get busy. Taking 2 other loads so far, and we're just finishing up some of the scraps that we left around the headland before we switch back to the rake. It's looking good. It is looking pretty darn good. And just cleaning up this spot as well. Yeah, I just need to re-rake out here. And man, I mean, we're already at about $10,000 for the day. And a little bit more in here right now. But I'm gonna go ahead and shut that off and place it right here. And with that money, I do wanna, let's look at the catalog. I wanna see what we have on the market for windrowers that might be worth it. I mean, this one might be a little bit better. Its width is 6.5, and the one we have is 3. So that, I think that would be more than worth it. Go with that setup. Should be good. Well, I've thought through it, and I think it is the right decision to try to trade this in for a different one. Let's go ahead and sell this for, 400 bucks there. And we'll get, we're going to look at a few things. Well, I spent about $11,000, and yeah, we need to get these things loaded. Got a nice subsoiler and the rake, and this is going to make things a lot easier. I'm spending a little more cash than I wanted to, but it'll work out. There were a lot of good options, but I think these were the best in our price range. This rake's a lot larger or wider, and this subsoiler will work to plow up the ground. And some of the other plows I was looking at, they just required a lot more horsepower than we have. So this is what we're gonna go with. It won't, from what I understand, it won't get as deep into the ground as a plow would, but it should suffice. And I think right here is a good spot. We'll go ahead and unfold that. And I'll go get the tractor and hook this up. And let's see if we can just pull this off after hooking it up. Not bad. All right, let's see. I decided to go with the red so we could tell the difference between the tedder and the rake. So that should be good. Just lower it. It's all we should have to do. And, you know, it might not be much wider than what we're working with, but it feels like it is. It's a little bit wider. I think this will be much more enjoyable moving forward. And that worked out really nice. Let's go ahead and go up top and get the forage wagon again so we can get all of this hay out of the way and sold, so we can start plowing our first ever field. Well, after 2 other loads have been taken and sold, we're getting this third one again. Just about completely full. So we'll go get our money for this. And it seems like we pretty much paid for the subsoiler and rake there. And we'll see how we're sitting. I was hoping to be at about $54,000 to end the month, and I think we're probably going to be. All right, here we go. Last selling event of the day. Let's see it get above 54. I don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna be just below. 53,615. We got 3,400 on that one. We spent a good amount of money today, and the balance sheet has stayed pretty even. I think we've done pretty well. We're gonna go start working on at least the outline of that new field with the subsoiler, see how that implement works for us. Hopefully it's good enough. I'm really worried about having enough power to pull it uphill, but we'll find out. It'll be really sad if we have to go to the top of the hill and plow downwards every single pass. That's gonna take some time. But we got until spring to get this prepped. That's why I'm starting it now. See you in a few. All right, it's time to get this all prepped and started. I want to stay somewhat away from the road. About right here, probably. Let's go ahead and lower this. And it's already a field, so it should just... Why is it sinking so much? Oh, wow. It's getting real deep in there. Maybe this is doing it better than I thought it would. But let's go ahead and head straight down now. Let's see exactly how well this is gonna handle the hill. I'm a little worried, like I've mentioned a few times. Do we have enough power? Getting a little close to the road now. Let's come back about right there. All right. Get this outline done, but I'll report back if we do have issues going uphill. All right, moment of truth. 4 miles an hour. It seems to be able to handle it. We just have to stay here in first gear most of the way. 5 miles an hour. Okay, it's not terrible. Try second gear now. 6 miles an hour. Okay, I think this is doable. It's just going to take some time. Kind of the situation we have with this crazy terrain here. And we'll make the best of it. Now, I don't know, this might be a way larger of a first field than I should be starting with, but go big or go home. I guess the house is right there. That wouldn't be very far to go home. And we'll just connect it like so. Again, leaving enough room for cars. I don't want cars to, you know, just slide off the road a little bit and ruin our crops. Just seems to be the wise thing to do. So we'll do another outline here, give us room to turn around before we do ups and downs, but somewhat of a skinny field, so it shouldn't take too long with this implement. Seems like the sun's getting close to setting already. Yeah, starting to peek behind the mountain there. We'll get as much done as we can while we still have daylight. It's gotten pretty dark, and I think I'm just gonna finish this. I know my time's pretty limited with work and everything, so some of these nights have got to go late, and it's only 5:30 and it just gets dark early in November, so we just got to keep going. These lights seem to be good enough. I'm not really losing track where I am. Able to see really good out here with these lights. And we're almost done, so we might as well finish. And this should be the very last spot. And boy, has it gotten dark in the last few minutes. So dark. There's a little spot that we missed to the left there that we were exposing with the lights now. Let's just grab that. And boy, this tractor is making me proud. I don't think we could have done this with that farm all that we had. Wise decisions. Some were comical, some were because of mods not being good, but that's where we're gonna leave you in November. And hopefully we can get some of these veggies and fruits sold next month. Start opening up our own farmers markets. Start becoming a much more profitable little homestead.